Today, the Nyxi wireless controller faces the Hound of Judgement and his trusty sidekick, whatever the heck that dog is. Hey there, real gamers, and all you gatekeepers out there. Retro Rob here. Welcome to Retro Rob Plays Everything. Today I've got another controller to show you that was sent in, and this one is by Nyxi. This is the Nyxi wireless controller for NS, or Nintendo Switch. Tricky. Anyway, I did order, well, I didn't pay for it, but I did ask for the new Arctic White one, and supposedly this is it. So I'm kind of excited to check it out and play it. So let's just get started like we always do with the front of the box. Wireless controller for NS by Nyxi. Palette, Breathe, and Rainbow Breathe, which are, I believe, the 3 different modes that you can have the little color rings go. Which I don't think I've had another controller for the Switch that does that, so that'll be interesting. The back of the box. 2x joypad for Switch, 1 frame, USB charging cable, user manual. After receiving the product, please charge the handle for the data cable we used for 2 hours. Rats! I want to play with it right away. Model is YS37. Input voltage is 5.5 volts. Charging 5 volts. That's pretty normal stuff. And wireless connection distance, less than 10 meters. Well, I think I can manage that one. And here's the side of the box, which I'm mentioning because it has some stuff on it that you want to see. Wireless. Slippery when wet. No. Dual vibration. 6-axis gyroscope. And it can operate wired. I guess that's what it means. Docked. Alright, let's bust this open. Alright, here we go. I cannot wait to hook this thing up and play with it. Phrasing's important. Alright, here's the centerpiece for it. Feels pretty light. Charging cable, USB-C. About 3 feet. Actually, that feels pretty good. That's a pretty nice cable. Oh yeah, it's white. It is the Arctic White one. And there we go. And it feels a lot like an Xbox controller. It's fairly light. Oops, sorry about the noise in the background. Yeah, we'll see how it is. It is light. It's not terrible. And yeah, you know what? The plastics feel okay. There's all the buttons. It's got the expected bumper and trigger. And here's the back. And then I'll look into what some of the buttons here do and get back to you on it. Does include a manual in black and white. I'm gonna guess that's gonna tell me everything I need to know. And here's what it looks like. Wait. Just assemble it as a controller. It's got a great size for my hands. I've got rather large hands. So that feels really good. Feels like an Xbox controller. Look at what do I have? I don't have my like really big Xbox controllers out, but it is pretty decently sized. All right, real quick. See, here's the there's the Pro controller, and here's this. So it's a little bit. Actually, it's significantly wider. See that? And I've got it up against the end here. Yeah, it's pretty big. Wish I could get them both there, but you can see. Pretty big. Alright, I'm gonna go try this thing out and get back to you. Hold on. Alright, let's talk programming a little bit. Right here is the T or turbo button. And the good news is, this is what you use for programming everything, so you just kind of reach around here. So if I hold down the turbo button and hit X, it is going to set X to a turbo button. Same with A, B, Y. You can't do it with the thumbstick, obviously. But what you can do with the thumbstick is, if I hold down the turbo button and press up, I will increase my vibration. And if I go down, I will decrease it. So you can set your vibration level at that point. So the higher up you go, stronger it is. Also, I'm going to hold down the T button on the back. See, I'm doing it right there. And I just changed the color. But these are all just a solid color. What if I want it to breathe? Well, I press and hold and do it twice. And then I will set breathing. I did it. Yeah, there we go. And there's different breathing modes that you can do. This one just kind of frustrates me. It takes a while for it to, start breathing. So I often change it. You can turn the lights completely off. Then back on again. Personally, I like... Come on. White's pretty cool, but I like this one. I think this looks pretty cool. That's it. That's all there is to programming. One button. Thanks. I like that. If you want to do something weird, they don't have to match. It doesn't do both controllers, so you program them separately. I'm gonna match these back up. There we go. Much better. Much better. And, of course, you do this just like a regular Joy-Con. So you can break it off and reconnect it right here. Feels very nice in the hand. As I mentioned before, this is a pretty huge controller. It is... Here, wait. Show you. Hold on. There we go. Here's my wife's Xbox controller. I mean, this thing's pretty gigantic. It's a little bit in front of it, but you can see it's a pretty big controller. Mentioning it twice because it's big, big. Big, big, I say. Okay, so if you'd like to charge it, you can plug it in and charge it into USB-C, or you can just mount it on the rails of your Switch. So I can do this. There we go. And there we go. Very nice. In case you're wondering, in detached mode, you can use these as individual Joy-Cons, although it will feel a little weird because there's a big bump right here, but at least you can put your finger under here. I suppose that's a plus. It's got the buttons. There you go, right there. Left and right. So that's nice. If you need to pair the controller with your Switch wirelessly, you can press and hold this button and it'll start searching. There we go. Linked. Yay. Here is Crisis on the Switch, which is, in my opinion, largely unplayable with Joy-Cons, especially on the small screen. Because basically with Joy-Cons, this stuff just like jumps all over the place. But I can actually aim, which makes the game almost playable, or maybe even barely playable. But that is a huge improvement, to be honest, because this game's rough to play with Joy-Cons. Just doesn't happen. The D-pad is very low and very wide. It makes up for this by putting a whole lot of lift on the edges, and it mostly works, honestly. And when I'm talking about the lift, you can see it right here, and you can see just how flat the D-pad is. Like I said, usually flat D-pads are a recipe for disaster, but this one, they were smart enough to bring up the edges, so it works perfectly fine. It feels way better than I thought it would based on the shape of it, because it is like much larger than what you're used to on the Switch as far as the D-pad goes. But if you're fine with mush, and you know, some people like having a bit of mush and some people don't, you'll probably like this one. Here's Demon's Tier, which is going to be on an upcoming video. Of course, I will be using screen grabbing when I do it, not recording it directly off the screen like I'm doing now, but I'm showing you the controller, not the game, really. As you can see, dual stick shooter works just fine. No problems. Controls are very smooth. And all the button presses are dead on. Alright, I'm gonna get too much into this game, so let's go on. The Nyxi does have gyroscope functionality on it, but it does not read NFC cards. So you'll have to tap it against the screen to do that. And that about wraps it up for the wireless controller for NS by Nyxi. Like by NS. We're not gonna say Nintendo Switch here. But anyway, all in all, I really like the controller. I enjoy using it. I've been using it for about 2 weeks. I've had no missed button presses. The analog sticks worked great. The D-pad is fine, a little bit shallow, but again, it makes up for it by lifting up the edges. It's synced fine. I had no problems like that with it. It's light. I'm definitely going to say that. That would be one criticism of it. That is not a problem, actually, when it's on the Switch itself. That's actually an advantage. But when it's all by itself like this, you can definitely feel that it's light. Another nice bonus is you can use it when it's attached to the Switch as a stand, and that's pretty cool. I like the lighting functions. The battery seems to be fine. I kept it on the rail, to be honest, most of the time. So battery could be questioned. I didn't really test it out super heavily, but I had no problems with it running out. I mean, I used it for a couple of hours, and without it being on the rail, and it seemed to be fine. Like that it could charge on the rail or charge off of it. Just all in all, pretty decent controller. I like it for the budget range, and yeah, it gets a thumbs up. I want to thank you very much for watching this video. If you found it useful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye! The Hound of Judgement finds you acceptable, which is pretty good coming from the Hound.